We conducted research across the state to determine what was the need for supervisory development and to identify what other municipalities and organizations were doing to develop their people.
You know, I think it's a tremendous opportunity, especially for people who are trying to gain leadership skills, who are trying to figure out, you know, how to advance their careers. And a lot of times we have just enough resources to focus on the job, but not a tremendous HR unit that can go and offer these types of training in-house.
I've been involved in utility and public works management for most of my career, and over that time just noticed the various aspects of leadership and how important it was to successful implementation, and really developed a passion for trying to figure out what worked, what didn't work, what made for successful leadership, and particularly in the utility industry.
We are expecting an exodus of existing supervisors in utilities and utility management. So really, one of the issues that we need to address is doing more and more of these kinds of programs and investing in development in our organizations. A lot of organizations don't have the staff and the resources to do this and to do it well. And so I think that that's one of the benefits of this Get Into Water program. You've got a team of experts behind the scenes who are putting the resources together, making these kinds of programs work.
That we weren't really training leaders in the industry adequately. A lot of leaders came up because they were good at what they did, not because they were good at leadership or because they were good people.
I found myself in the job basically based on my technical skills, ability to understand legal briefings, water court fights, etc. But I had really very little true supervisory and managerial experience.
Right now I'm in the middle of a transition from being a crew lead to a supervisor, so this program's actually helped me step into that position. From everything from learning different personalities in our group to finding out ways guys work and how I can make that an easy transition. I'd say the personality thing really helped open my eyes on how different guys operate. Certain people have different personalities and you got to approach them that way, on the way that they work, and it'll make it a lot easier for the both of us in the end.
So we really want to help organizations fill that potential gap that's going to exist as baby boomers start to leave organizations.
The networking aspect of being in the program, being around 20 other individuals from different utilities and companies, and that gives you a broader base of how it's done elsewhere outside, and you just also get the networking opportunities and have those connections that I think will be a huge benefit in the future.
It's first and foremost understanding the shift between going from an employee to a leader. There's a significant transformation in perspective that has to happen. So one of the key things that you'll get out of this program is understanding the different role that you play in leadership in the organization.
Well, my current position has actually changed during the course of the class. I was just an operator in a crew of 4, and now I'm the supervisor for that same crew of 4. My biggest challenge right now is dealing with a peer group of people that I've worked with for over 21 years, and the various habits and things that we've gone through in those 21 years. I think there were a couple of them that I find most useful. One was some of the things we talked about working with peers, but a lot of it, to me, the more important one was getting to know your people and getting to know what motivates them and what they enjoy about their work.
And we also talk about, and you'll learn, really core responsibilities and functions of supervision and management. You'll learn new approaches to management.
Probably the biggest challenge is blending and molding a team into a workforce into a good team, a functioning team despite conflicts. And I feel like this program's helped me give some tools to help shape your team into what you want them to do and get them to work together and accomplish a common purpose and goal.
Self-awareness is a big piece of the program. So you'll gain awareness of your style, your work style, your conflict management style, the way in which you interact with others. So self-awareness is a big focus. And finally, we'll challenge you to gain new skills in presentation skills, working with others effectively, and even some writing skills.
I think it'd be the conflict resolution tips they gave. It really it gives a more concrete outline on how to handle any sort of conflicts that come up, especially with any people, but that amount of people, there's going to be some. So having a good way to handle it, or at least a guide to work with, is going to be really helpful, I think.
My passion is to help challenge people to discover their leadership abilities.
There's just a lot of resources here that are really valuable and more valuable to us as a small utility because we don't have the in-house resources.
I hope people identify some strengths that they weren't aware of. I hope people realize that there's a responsibility for effective leadership and that they can take on that role.
Approach it with an open mind. Try to leave your preconceptions at the door.